cat in the wall, eh? Okay, now you're talking my language.
You have a drunk Bailey's from a shoe?
All right, welcome into the View from C-Deck. I'm just Matt here with Direwolf, and we're ready to talk about the Buckeyes and what Ryan Day had to say today. This is what, Monday the 11th? Is that where we're at? So close. Go ahead and talk. This is Direwolf. Talk, Direwolf, so they can see you.
Yeah, it's Direwolf. I was saying, yeah, it's the 11th.
It's the 11th, and we're only less than 3 weeks away now from game time. Cannot wait. AP poll comes out today. They screw it up, and it's 1 versus 3 now in the AP instead of 1 versus 2. Aren't they supposed to be promoting the game, Dyer?
Yeah, I'm not going to say I'm shocked by it because I swear it's almost never the exact same AP and coaches, and AP seems to always screw it up one way or another. I don't know how you can put a team that's lost to another team 10 straight years ahead of them, but whatever. We'll just have to take down Texas, and then we'll get 1 versus 2 when Penn State comes.
But they're also coached by James Franklin. I don't know why you want to hitch your wagon to that, but whatever. But we'll talk today, though, about what Ryan Day had to say, how the scrimmage went down on Saturday, and what we've read through insiders, and our thoughts on that. And then we're also going to do a little Buckeye Mount Rushmore, since that's been the hot topic lately. And I think we're just going overall, right? We're not going a position group.
No, I think it's just overall top 4 players, which makes it extremely hard.
It does, especially if you went by like actual Mount Rushmore rules, and they're all like from back in the 50s or something. But we'll start here with Day talking about our scrimmage. Didn't give out a lot of info today, to be honest. You know, I was asked about, people tried to ask for him to give specific players that stood out, and he kind of shied away from it. Updates on the quarterback battle, he really didn't give a whole lot about that. Although from what I've read, and we can talk about that first, since that's what everybody's going to want to know. You know, what we've read is like basically it's gone how you've always heard about it going. Sayan is the better passer. He's making way better throws that are going to be more useful in actual games. But that Kleinholz was able to lead like a really nice touchdown drive, doing some things with his legs, etc. But overall, he just says, "Oh, we're getting more information." But I still think it's Sayan, right?
Yeah, you got to think it's Sayan. I mean, I don't know. He doesn't want to declare it yet. I think even with Fields and Stroud, he hadn't declared it at this point in the year. So I would have actually been a little bit surprised if he declared it. If he doesn't by next week, though, that's when I'm going to start to think maybe we have 2 good ones and not 1 great one. But the only thing I'm worried about, and I don't think it's going to happen, I think I mentioned it in the last one, is that we try some squirrely teen holds in the red zone package, which never works. But I didn't listen to the whole press conference, but I heard that somebody asked him that directly, and he just straight up said no. But yeah, of course, he's not going to disclose that ahead of the biggest game of the year.
Right. I will not be surprised at all if we see some sort of package like that in the biggest game of the year right off the bat when nobody has time to prepare for it. And we saw it work a little bit with Devin Brown for like the one game we ran it against Purdue, and then he snapped his ankle back then. But what will affect both these quarterbacks is what is the interesting part of what he said today. And I poo-pooed this when he brought it up last week, that Austin Sierveld's working at left tackle. I thought, oh, that's just something they're doing to get, in case of emergency during the regular season type thing. But no, it says today exclusively working at left tackle, which means he's playing left tackle. That's what he's doing in the big scrimmage. So we had brought in a transfer, like one of our 2 biggest transfers to play left tackle, and that's not happening with Oinawa. So what do you think now? And we're also hearing that, and I read from people that were there, and it was also brought up at the press conference that Philip Daniels is playing really well at right tackle and was the starter at right tackle in that scrimmage. So that seems to have a lot of legs to it. Sounds like Oinawa might be the odd man out. What do you think about these developments on the O-line?
Yeah, the Oinawa one kind of concerns me the most. I think he's basically in a battle with Daniels, it sounds like, for that last spot is what it somebody asked him, and he said, who's ahead? And all he said is, we'll see, something along those lines. So mean, you could look at it pessimistically and optimistically, honestly, because you could see it as, well, we had a guy that we were projected to be a starter that's now going to be on the bench. Well, that's depth. But it could also mean, well, maybe this guy played for, Rice? So maybe he's not used to playing with the big boys and isn't up to snuff. And that's what it kind of smells like to me.
Could be. I mean, he was a dude of the week also leading up to this. He's lost weight. We paid him a lot to come here. We had to have. So it's very interesting that he wouldn't end up starting. And Sierveld, though, it's also Sierveld was our 8th best lineman last year. Like if you go by like how the season finished, the 5 starters, he didn't start the last game, and the 2 guys that were injured. And so he couldn't hold down a starting spot the whole year on an O-line that struggled for a lot of the year. And does one off season. I mean, he's had a great off season, obviously, by all accounts. Iron Buckeye, both in the winter and the summer, which is very rare. But he doesn't seem to have like a set spot. He's just spot is starter right now. And he was a guard coming out. He's projected as a guard. I think he has a guard build. I mean, he's 6'5", so he's tall enough, but are the arms long enough to hold off like elite pass rushers? And this is not the team to mess around with in the opener when it comes to blocking. Like they have an elite pass rusher in Colin Simmons in Texas. So the pessimist in me says, and he's also not like he's repped this a ton at left tackle. Like this is all of a sudden type of thing happening. So it's not like he's going to have it like there's no way he'll be perfect at left tackle right away. So you're going from guard to right tackle to left tackle is very different, very, very different if you've never played the positions. So that's the pessimist in me. But the optimist in me says, well, Daniels is stepping up. We got a really good right tackle. We got, the interior. We've talked about that last week that I'm not totally sold on them either, but a lot of people are. So I can roll with that. And now we just have our 5 best out there, which they like to do. And let's go attack. Let's go attack with a guy is an Iron Buckeye twice and is like the leader of the team. And we talked about maybe a possible Block O jersey for Sonny Styles, but he could also be the Block O like Thayer Munford, like not actually wear it, but could be the Block O player.
And I am with you. It concerns me a little bit about Sierveld, but then I also remember last year is a perfect example of we were screwed heading into Penn State, having to switch 2 linemen, and that ended up being what won us the game at the very end. I actually just rewatched it, and I kind of forgot about that.
But who do we switch out to left tackle on that game, and what happened?
Actually, I don't even know.
Donovan Jackson.
Okay, yeah,
he got annihilated by Abdul Carter for most of the game.
he did, but it was basically. I think I just saw the very end. That last drive is basically
we ran it down their throat the last drive,
to seal the game, and then we still lost. Did we? I think we lost McLaughlin after that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So it was just that whole experience just made me appreciate guys that can play multiple positions. So that's kind of why I'm leaning towards the optimist, and that's always how I am anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll just be very interesting to see if he ends up at left tackle, which it very much sounds like it now, and Onionwa does not end up starting. That is going to be kind of a whiff in the portal, to be honest. If we're paying and we have this strategy now of paying transfers and guys that are proven versus bringing in, especially on the O-line, elite tackle prospects, we can't be missing on our transfers if that's going to be our strategy.
Yeah, and I saw that he was obviously going to be a high draft pick. I didn't realize he was going to be like a 2nd rounder. Is what So he took a big risk too. Now if he doesn't even start, I mean, goodness, maybe that'll light a fire under him. Hearing Day say that, and he turns out to actually be starting against Texas over Daniels, but I don't know. We'll see. Or maybe Daniels is just a freak.
Maybe. And then the other position battle that was brought up was Malik Hartford and Jalen McClain, which we talked about also extensively. At safety, I'm a McClain guy. What I've read is Hartford did have a very good scrimmage, though. And he said that, his exact quote was, we'll see how this week goes, but we're seeing both of those guys grow on the back end, which is coach speak for, I'm not going to tell you anything.
Yeah. pretty much. I mean, it sounds good though. Again, it's that whole depth thing, right? I mean, that's not a bad problem to have, but I'm with you on liking him more. Hartford, I don't know. It worries me a little bit if he's starting, but it would be nice to have a guy like him coming off the bench.
Oh yeah. Okay, well that's basically most of what he said. I guess also he talked about bringing in Josh Boyer, former defensive coordinator of the NFL, worked with Matt Patricia for a long time. It's just going to be a guy I'm guessing is going to kind of help Patricia game plan and scout. Maybe I can't see him doing like just jumping in and taking over somebody's like positional spot out there. So I think he's going to be more of like a assistant to the mind of Matt Patricia. Yeah,
that was really random. I guess I didn't realize there was a coaching position even open, and we hadn't. I don't know. I guess I don't get that on like timing and stuff, but it sounds like he's a great guy to have around. A lot of experience.
There's no limit anymore. Beginning, I think last year, but it might be this year that's beginning. So there's no limit anymore of how many coaches you can have. So, knock yourself out. get as many good minds as you can in here. I think is fine by me. It's a fine strategy. As long as you're not stepping on anybody's toes.
I did not realize that. It used to be 9, I think.
It was not. It was like 10 total. 10 I could coach on field, and they basically got rid of that. So we basically have 3 O-line coaches now. Like Bowen's the O-line coach, but we got 2 other guys. Oklahoma State's old O-line coach. I forget who the other one is. But they're all 3 doing on field stuff, which is I like because Tyler Bowen hadn't actually coached O-line since like 2003. That's all about today's presser and the updates right now from fall camp. This is probably the last week where it's actually a battle for the positions. We'll probably hear all the starters next Monday, unless there is Kyle McCord, Devin Brown situation somewhere where nobody's kind of taking the reins. Not that they're tied because they're both good, but tied because they're both not quite getting it right. That is what we have to talk about now is our Mount Rushmores. And been a hot topic, especially with guys getting asked. I believe Jeremiah Smith had one asked about him for receiver, and he was definitely, besides Chris Carter, a lot of recency bias going on there. But for overall, the entire history of this program, 120 plus years of football, the Mount Rushmore for Ohio State, and I'm going to start it with one old guy because we have to put one old guy on there. There has to be a George Washington on our Mount Rushmore, and that's the man that built Ohio Stadium, Chick Harley, All-American, like 3-time All-American. There was no Heisman back there, or he probably wins one. But he's the one who, they literally built Ohio Stadium because of him. He has to be on the list.
That's a good one for sure. It honestly depends on what you factor in for it, right? Like, is it national titles, Heisman's? Is it most yards, touchdowns? Because some guys were absolute freaks but only played 1 year, like Clarett. But I can't put Clarett on the Mount Rushmore because they only played 1 season.
Terry Glenn had 1 good year, but he was the greatest year in the history of the program, receiving wise.
Yeah, so the clear one that has to be on everybody's list and wasn't on any of the freaking players' lists except for 1 or 2 is Archie Griffin. I mean, you have to. That's a lock. And then I don't know if you want to do a snake. You did the first one. But after Archie, I think the other lock personally would be Orlando Pace.
It's hard because we've had a lot of good linemen. He's the best for sure. Number 1 overall draft pick, NFL Hall of Famer as well. They've invented the pancake block for him. There's a lot of team success. First Rose Bowl we'd won in a long time, since Archie was there, I believe, was our first Rose Bowl win in '96, which was his last year here. Blocked for Heisman winner and Eddie George in '95. Should have played for a national championship both those years, and they Coopered it against Scump. So he doesn't have those on his resume. Finished 4th in the Heisman voting, I believe, in '96 as well.
Did he really? I didn't realize that. Was he a finalist, or did they only do 3?
It depends. He was not. I don't think he got invited. I don't know. I don't think it was as big of a thing back then.
Yeah,
I think there was only like a 15-year period where like the show itself was like a big deal, and that we're past it now. Nobody watches that anymore either. I'll go with Orlando Pace though. I like that. I like that pick, and I think those three should be pretty much unanimous. If you're talking about the greatest players ever in this team, but that's the fourth spot, the fourth head on Mount Rushmore, the Teddy Roosevelt. I guess the guy who built it for himself. Who is on there for you? I'll let you go first on this because this one is real. There's a lot of good names that you have to sift through now.
And the crazy thing is, we don't have any defensive players yet, and you gotta have one. But then I also think here's a debate I couldn't determine. I think I landed on Zeke between who was better for Ohio State between Eddie and Zeke.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's so close, but that run in the 14 postseason, Wisconsin, Bama, Oregon was, I think that puts him over the edge between him and Eddie. But then we're all offense. We got to have a defensive player, and I don't even know who might. I don't know. It's like Bosa's and Chase Young was an absolute freak, but I think that was only 1 year, wasn't it?
He had a good sophomore year, but not as good as his junior year, obviously.
and then I think it's like Mike Doss. Maybe that's who I would put. I don't know. I honestly can't pick, but when I first made it, it was Zeke. But then I'm all offense, so now I want to change it up. And if I'm going to change it up, I'm going to go Mike Doss.
Man, I do like some Mike Doss. Who doesn't? I mean, I was reading something about nostalgia and like, what's the best, like when all these, what's the best things get asked. And it was actually during, I was a Reddit discussion about college football. Well, when was the best time for college football? And it's like, well, you might as well ask when were you aged 12 to 24? Because you're going to pick something from then, which is what you just did. And I love Mike Doss, a 3-time All-American, national champion, came back for his senior year to win that national championship, kind of led some other guys to come back too. All-time great Buckeye from Ohio too. It's not a bad choice. It's hard to not pick an offensive player though, because they're the ones that get all the hardware is the thing. And defensively though, like Antoine Winfield was Thorpe winner and a really good player in the NFL, first-round pick. Joey Bosa, I think, is our best all-around defensive end we've ever had here. But, I mean, Nick Bosa's been better in the pros, but Joey here was everything you could ever want. And then he's got everybody's a top 5 pick also, and then also and been really good when he's not hurt in the NFL. But I want to go with Eddie because he won the Heisman, or we don't have a quarterback on the list yet. Does Troy Smith make it on there, or CJ Stroud even? But Stroud doesn't beat Michigan; he can't be on there.
See, I can't even pick the quarterback because, I mean, one, I love JT. He's got all the records. He's got all the touchdowns, but you can't say JT because I feel like he wasn't like a true drop back passer.
JT could be the Teddy Roosevelt though.
Yeah.
Teddy Roosevelt's not on. I mean, I guess he founded the national parks, which is cool, but he's not on Washington, Lincoln, and Jefferson's level in terms of like what he meant to this country.
True. So, yeah, I mean, it could be him just because of he stuck around for 4 years. He played as a freshman. He got hurt. He came back. All that stuff. Beat Michigan 4. I mean, one of them he didn't finish the game. His freshman.
No, well, not twice he didn't finish the game.
Yeah, twice.
Junior and senior year.
Yeah. But we beat him on all 4. He just never won Heisman or Natty. I can't say Eddie over Zeke because Zeke won a title, right?
He won the Heisman.
I know, but I'd rather have a title than a Heisman.
Yeah, we're talking about individual players here.
I know, but if you're a player, would you rather have a Heisman or a national championship?
They both sound pretty good.
I feel like you would want a Natty. I don't know. I guess it's so even.
It's so even with a lot of guys. God, I want to throw Troy in there now because it's what he did to those bastards up north was so wonderful.
And then if we're
Yeah,
really talking about skill,
I'm throwing Troy in because we need a quarterback too.
if we're really talking about skilled players at Ohio State, quarterbacks, I mean, Stroud and Fields are the best quarterbacks I think we've had.
Pure skill, probably. Yeah. I don't know. Troy is a college player. Stuff that doesn't translate to the NFL, he had.
You are right. You're definitely right.
But whoever it is, I think we might both agree on this. Whoever it is just keeping this spot warm for one Jeremiah Smith to be put on there when he's done. Easily he's going to shatter every receiving record here, assuming like something crazy doesn't happen and he gets injured. Knock on wood. Sorry. Sometimes I'm stupid like that and say things I shouldn't. But Jeremiah, that he will be the fourth man on this list.
You could probably put him on this list after this season, depending on how it goes.
See, if we win another national title and he wins the Biletnikoff and the Heisman and has like 1,500 yards and 20 touchdowns, would he pass Olave?
Probably not. Probably not.
Tied with Olave if he had 20 touchdowns for most touchdowns ever. Who has the yards? Is it Olave has the yards record?
No, it's freaking
Still Michael Jenkins?
No, it's Hill.
KJ Hill has the yardage?
I think so.
I think he has the receptions.
Is it receptions?
Yeah.
Then yardage might be Olave.
I know Olave has the touchdowns.
KJ Hill has something.
He's got the catches. You're right about that. I just looked at is it David Boston still? Oh, no. We should both know this. God, we're dumb.
Oh, it's Marv.
No.
Huh?
It got set last year. Guy who played for 4 years here. He's the only one on this list that's played for 4 years. That's why he's on it.
Freaking Trump butchering his name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Egbuka.
Yeah. Duh. Okay.
28, 68. So 1,500 yards. Doesn't quite get it done. He'll be right next to him. But yeah, he can basically hold all the records already.
Yeah.
He won't catch KJ in receptions, I don't think. Actually, Abuka's got that too. He passed KJ, 205 now. Okay. So yeah, he's not getting to what do you have, 75 last year? I don't think he's going to have like 140 catches or 130 catches.
He doesn't have those games where he catches like 12 passes. It's like 5 for 100.
7 was like his high. He hit it a couple times.
Yeah. Maybe he will this year. Who knows? Maybe we get him involved.
They might force feed him a little more this year than last year.
Yeah. After they saw what happened, like when they needed him to do what he did, and he always did.
Oh, God, he's so good. Can't wait for the season to start. Need to see number 4 racing down the field, just shrugging guys off. But that'll be enough for this podcast. For the Dire Wolf, I'm just Matt. This is The View from C-Deck. Like, subscribe, comment. Good to see everybody back on our first video that we put out. Did really well. So glad to for our new subscribers. Glad to have you. And we will see you guys next.
Hey, guys. Oh, big gulps, huh? All right. Well, see you later.